Hello and welcome to Alchemist Swim. I'm Alchemist Jen. Thank you for joining me on this fine day. I hope you are having a good one and may continue to do that or get better or something. So whatever time of day it is, it's all good. It's all good. I got Kitty here. Super duper Kitty. Right, Kitty? Yep. Saying hi. He's attached to my shirt. He prefers the hugs. Alright, because I am sitting on his floor pillow after all, and this is what we do. This is what we do for videos. We hang out on his floor pillow, because I stuck video and pillow together. Yes, so we hang out on his floor pillow, and therefore I'm allowed to sit here while I film, so it's all good. So I was realizing I have not spun any yarn in quite some time on here. Like months, but that's okay. I did it when I first started the videos. That was a really long time ago. Realized that I've passed over 90 videos that I've made, so I've been doing them daily, so pretty cool. So triple digits right around the corner. Very freaking awesome. Kitty's playing with something, so you can probably hear little scuttling noises. So he's got a little piece of plastic wrap from a coffee bag that I gave to him that he loves. He can bat it around. So here I've got some fiber that I dyed, and this one is the colorway Alien Makeup, because that's fun. And so I just got it put up in a braid, basically using a crochet hook, and made it into this form. It's really long otherwise. So I'm just going to pull off a section. And then we can do a little bit of spinning. So what I have on here is all the pinky part, and so now I'm starting to work into I've got a little bit of blue where the dye split, and then into the gray. So that's what I have in this section. Kitty loves fiber. He also loves yarn. Anything string like he's going after, so he's really attentive right now looking at me hold this stuff up. He's pawing at it. I don't know if you can see that, but he's pawing. And so what I like to do is kind of pre-portion out sections of this so it's easier to spin up. And I really, you can see on here, just have a pretty thick yarn. I don't really like to do, I mean, I can do finer yarns. I like to do that on the spinning wheel. I feel like that's a little bit easier than the spindle. But I really like my thick art yarns anyway. So I find they have a little bit more character. I find they go together really quick, and I just enjoy them. So not only do they go together real quick on the front end, they're also easy to make stuff out of. So I'm just going to do little sections like this and be able to spin them. Theoretically, Kitty keeps grabbing everything. You know, for a 20-year-old, you're pretty amazing. I'm just impressed by his vigor and attention and attitude, and that he plays all the time. So I'm very proud of him. I will encourage it. You get fiber in your paws. He loves this. He actually really likes fresh fleeces that have a lot of lanolin in them still. He goes nuts. I'm just setting this on top of my sewing machine because that, you know, is a good place to stick it. I figure you won't get to it right away, so I've just got a couple of sections there. And then spinning, so got my fiber on there. We're just gonna do a nice little spin and then be able to add a chunk of fiber to it. Hey bud. Alright. He's really helping. Alright. Spin. Hoping I can show you it and not have to keep Kitty all away from it. So he's really excited about it. So we'll spin that and then wind it around this guy, wind it again here, so that way we can work on spinning some more. And then we've got yarn. How cool is that? My fiber and spin. Spin. And it comes together pretty quick. Unwind and wind. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. Have to do some more sections real soon. Which is awesome. You can see it's going together quick. Kitty likes it still. He's trying to bite it. I would probably go longer sections and then in the draft there and then be able to stretch it out, but since I'm seated on this floor pillow and Kitty's in front of me, and there you go, I'm just gonna pull the fibers out a little bit. I'm very concerned that I'm going the same direction for my spin that I was for the other part. I'll find out. I want to spin that a little bit more. I see it's coming. It's a little chunky there, so I'm going to back out. Make sure I have enough spin on that. I don't think I'm definitely not too tight in that, so that's good. And all that happens when it gets too tight is that it's just it's a little tight on this end, but it can also be balanced out on the other end as well. When we go to set the spin, generally take give it a nice bath. The water, you can even steam it, and then the water helps the fibers relax, and so they kind of get into their pre-final state without having too much tension in there. So that's pretty cool. There's all these like little things that you can do along the process to make your yarn happy, which is fun. So I've traditionally just washed my yarn, just a little bit of soapy water, warmth, and then just let it dry. But I recently learned that you can actually steam it. So I have a little like a clothing steamer, and so take your yarn, I like to spread it out, and then just take the steamer against it, and then it'll help relax it. So good trick, very good trick. So I'm just pulling more fibers out. Got some really good sections in there, so that's going to show up in these little baubles of color in the yarn too as it's being used, which is really fun. So you can already see a little bit of a difference on the spindle itself as far as the intensity. So just taking the new fiber, get in near the one that's already on. So it's already on there, so they kind of connect, and we'll spin, pull, not too much, we don't want it too thin. Pull some more. We don't want it too thick either. That's cool. There's fuzziness in the blue and the purple at the same time. Nice thick and thin. I enjoy that too, sometimes just having a little bit of a difference in distance through the thick and thin. I think it makes the yarn more interesting in the knitted or crocheted end version of it. So there's more depth and negative space, in a sense, to the knit or crochet fabric that's made. There we go. How cool. So it's very relaxing. I mean, fiber arts in general, I mean, you've got all these tactical elements to it, which is super fun and super relaxing. I really enjoy even like little things like when I have to anytime I touch fiber is just relaxing. So like even when I've got yarn that I have that's done, like say I wash it and then after dyeing it and then I have to wind it into skeins. I always like that part because it's very tactile and enjoyable. Just the different textures, and it's cozy, right? So wind that up and get more fiber. Yay for spinning yarn. Look how fuzzy it is. You probably can't see it as fuzzy as I am. I got the light behind it, whereas the light is different for you, but that's cool. You're probably seeing some of this stuff. A nice chunky bit. And then I'm just spinning the bottom in the spindle. That's what I'm doing when I'm making that twist. So, and I just love the way the light plays through this. It's a resin drop spindle that I cast, which is cool, and I'm really pleased with my design. I just really wanted something that was fun and glittery, and that's where I went with the resin that way. So I'm excited about it. Also excited to play with more resin things. Can't wait to make a whole bunch more stuff. I just want to play with light and color and glitter. Those are shiny things that make me happy. So why not play with them, right? Alright, so wind. So from this vantage point too, as I'm filling up my spindle, I can fit a lot more on there. The more I add, the more weight the spindle carries. So that affects a little bit how the spin is, as well as the tension that's on the yarn. It just all those factors add up. So sometimes it's a little easier the little further you go. Sometimes it's a little harder. Just depends on how things are. So spin. Wind. So I was thinking about having it as a single and just like having it like that and then just washing it from there. I enjoy that process, but I also enjoy just the way the colors will intersect and have kind of a twisted look when they're applied. And plying is basically taking two strands of yarn and then twisting them the opposite way that I'm spinning them here, so that the fibers line up and they don't get lost within each other. If they go in the opposite direction, they like each other when they're applied. So just a fun fact there. I'm sure there's better ways to describe that, but saying that they like each other works too, right? Some good action. Thanks for joining me today. I always like good company. Pull that out. Nice thing is, like when you dye fiber, you get this big, like lofty piece, and then when you make it wet and then you have to squeeze out the water, it tends to clump together. So see how thick and dense that part is, and then so you want to give it some air, give it some volume, and fluff it back out. And that air is cool how it ends up in the yarn itself too. So that's something that you want to think about as you're spinning, is how much air and loft is in the yarn too. So that will be affected by the spin itself too. So the chunkier the yarn, meaning the thicker the spin, definitely you'll have more air between the fibers. It'll make it bouncier, and in a sense softer, won't be as dense. So that's a cool thing. You end up with just different textures in your finished piece based off of the density of the yarn and fibers that are in there too. I just love watching it connect and spin up into itself. So the more you can have built up spin, so when I let go of this, you're going to see it transfer up into the fibers up at the top there, which is just really cool too. so we don't need to spin it too much. It's a good way to test how much spin you have in the lineup, but then it also lets you know how much more you need to do. So there we go. I'm definitely getting a little bit more fine tonight than I started out with the other ones, so I find get in the zone. Sometimes my spinning changes a little bit, and that's totally fine. An advantage to plying would be having more consistency, or having that other strand of yarn going along with it too. So I think I'm going to finish up this last little section or so, and that will be our whim of the day, spinning yarn together. So it's been awesome having you join me for this. I am going to do some YouTube tutorials, and I lost my fiber. It failed doing this too. Definitely got a lot of views on my YouTube tutorial for my silly scarflet that I made, so, and my knitting there. I'm also looking at calling this time that we have together more of a podcast type thing. I feel like it might have, I mean, it kind of rings true, more true to what it is that we're doing here, and I'm trying to play around with that. So if you have any thoughts on that, you're welcome to leave a comment and let me know what you think. And I'm using that in a very loose term, just, you know, defining it a little bit, but then also making it easier to find and follow it, I guess. I mean, if you're subscribed, you're already getting notifications potentially, but yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Alright, and that fiber kind of came off there. I'm going to call it good. I'm using my signs of my fiber, and it says it's time to take a rest. So that's the video for the day. There's that luscious, beautiful fluffiness there. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and we'll see where the whim takes us tomorrow. Toodaloo.